Two more, 13th.
September 13th.
Who you like?
I'm going with Canelo, man.
He's just, because he's a bigger dude, I don't know, but Crawford's a great, we're gonna find out. I'm glad Crawford finally has a fight.
So you think Canelo has to kind of fight the perfect fight, right?
If he don't, he in trouble. If he does, he should be all good.
Right,
Now
so it
he's
goes to
going to
54, and now he's going to
68?
68. That's so much
A
weight.
lot of weight.
But Terence is, I think he's the best switch hitter since Hagler.
They claim Hagler was my favorite.
And I think Crawford is just a little step ahead as far as movement is concerned. And so I think it's going to be Mayweather Canelo Part 2.
Denzel Washington stated that in his intriguing analysis of a potential fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, Crawford was hailed as one of the best fighters he had ever seen by the Hollywood legend, who was well known for his love of boxing. Even when compared to athletes like Canelo, who has dominated the sport for years, Denzel believes that Crawford's skill, discipline, and ring IQ set him apart. His remark immediately fueled a fervent discussion about what may transpire if these two titans ever faced off in the ring.
Who you guys got? Don't take me down.
Listen. In our gym, Crawford sits right there, and Canelo sits right here. That's why you play the game. We're gonna find out. But I'll say this, and I love Crawford.
The boxing world has been captivated by the idea of Canelo versus Crawford. Canelo, the Mexican superstar who has dominated several divisions, challenged and defeated some of the biggest names of his time, and established himself as one of the sport's most formidable pound-for-pound kings, is on one side. Crawford, on the other hand, has maintained his unbeaten record, navigating divisions with ease and gaining the reputation of being untouchable. Many fans' thoughts were echoed by Washington's remarks. It's possible that Crawford is currently ahead of everyone.
Canelo's a bigger man. He ain't never been hit by a man like this, but Crawford's a great fighter. One of the greatest I've ever seen. I love Crawford. I try to be like him. I love Canelo. I can't call it. I won't call it.
When is the fight?
Two more, 13th.
September 13th.
Who you like?
I'm going with Canelo, man.
He's just, because he's a bigger dude, I don't know, but Crawford's a great, we're gonna find out. I'm glad Crawford finally has a fight.
However, viewpoints within the boxing community are not entirely biased, although Denzel's passion for Crawford was evident. Other people have spoken up to caution that this is not an easy battle. The seasoned trainer Abel Sanchez, who trained Jenny Golovkin through some of the most intense fights of his career, had a completely different opinion. He believed that Canelo would have a significant advantage in a fight against Crawford.
Terence Crawford is a great fighter, but that's why we have weight divisions. I think that Canelo has proven as he has risen in the weights. He's dealt with the best in his weight divisions that he's at now. He fought before, and we both couldn't hurt him. He fought my guy, and my guy couldn't hurt him.
Sanchez maintained that regardless of Crawford's exceptional skill set, the disparity in stature, weight, and physical power would be too much for him to manage. He thought Crawford, despite his skill, would eventually be put in a far more difficult situation than he had ever been in before because to Canelo's pressure and power.
Simulates the speed and simulates the movement, and Crawford's going to be a lot slower because of the weight also. Yeah. Once he does that, I think it'll be a sparring session for Canelo, as it is in most of his last 4 or 5 fights. After the 5th or 6th round, it seems like it's a sparring session. He's doing whatever he wants.
Yeah. Do you feel like people don't realise that with Crawford, that when he's putting this weight on, this is almost weight that may not even be beneficial to him?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to benefit him. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he weighs fight night. The reports that I've read, he's up at 180 pounds, 190 pounds. So if he drops down to 168, I think it'll be too much. I thought that maybe 160, 158 maybe was the best form. But if he's comes in at 168 or 170 pounds by fight night, 175, I think it'll be too much. I think he'll be slower.
The juxtaposition between Sanchez's severe decision and Denzel Washington's laudatory remarks about Crawford encapsulates the excitement surrounding this ideal matchup.
We don't have an official analysis or prediction, but I will say this. If Canelo fights the absolute correct fight that he can fight, the only correct fight that he can fight, he does have a chance, and I think he could be victorious. If he doesn't fight the one way that he can only fight to win it, Terence Crawford has 6 ways he can win it. And my money will go on the man who has 6 ways to win it over the man who has 1 way of winning.
So you think Canelo has to kind of fight the perfect fight, right?
If he don't, he's in trouble. If he does, he should be all good.
Other well-known people have been showing waves of support for Crawford. One fighter who had defeated an all-time great in a battle that defined his career fully supported Crawford. According to Antonio Tarver, Crawford is specially equipped to handle a fighter like Canelo because of his agility, discipline, and sharpness. He believed that Crawford could outbox Canelo in ways that few others have ever been able to due to his ability to identify opponents and shut them down. The idea that Crawford is genuinely in a class of his own has only grown stronger with that kind of support, particularly from someone who has seen greatness directly.
Yeah, it's a major fight, man, the biggest in a long time. If you've been following Tarver's take, you know I'm Bud counting all the way. But this is going to be the toughest fight, the best fighter Bud has ever been in the ring with. And arguably, this could be the best fighter Canelo has ever been in the ring with. We'll find out which one is which on September 13th.
Fans, however, have taken an equal interest in the conversation. Many recall how Israel Madrimov Crawford was dropped during his ascent by his predecessors. And some have questioned whether that weakness may resurface in a conflict with someone as strong as Canelo.
Perspective, having fought Terence, him now fighting Canelo, moving up 2 more weight classes to fight a lot bigger guy.
Сейчас всем интересно вот это бой, потому что они занимают паунд по паунду. Кроуфорд, у Кроуфорда есть высокий IQ, и обоих стойках он может боксировать, он можно давить и бегать, и даже ближний бой тоже может. Поэтому мне тоже интересно, если он не набирает лишний вес, может тоже выиграть это.
Discussions on social media have been rife, with some arguing that Crawford's cunning tactics would win him the fight, while others have pointed to Canelo's strength, tenacity, and experience as a decisive element. The fervor of the supporters demonstrates how significant this battle could be should it ever take place.
It's going to be interesting, I'll tell you that.
What do you think?
I don't know. You know, it's a big jump to go from 54, which was a step up from 47. Right?
Now
so it goes to
to
54, and now he's going to 68. That's so much weight.
A lot of weight.
But Terence is, I think he's the best switch hitter since Hagler.
They claim Hagler was my favorite. They claim he's walking around like a $190 or something, and you do know he's a wrestler.
Yep.
So he's got that mentality to him.
He also built up slowly. Like he took his time. Like it's been a long time training for this fight. He came on this podcast more than a year ago, and he was talking about that's the fight he wants.
Nice.
And that was a long time ago.
I remember.
So he's been trying to get that fight for a long time. So knowing after he beat Errol Spence,
Andy Ruiz, the former heavyweight champion who stunned everyone by defeating Anthony Joshua, added his opinions to the conversation. Ruiz hinted that Crawford's style and pace would present Canelo with serious challenges. He clarified that although Canelo is an expert at exerting pressure and cutting off the ring, Crawford's timing and movement could irritate him. Another element was provided by Ruiz's viewpoint, which served as a reminder to everyone that even fighters with inherent strength and size can lose to someone who understands how to counteract those advantages.
I think it's going to be a good fight, man. I'm going for Canelo, of course. You know, he's a Mexican warrior as well. But Crawford, man, you can't neglect him or you can't underestimate him as well. You know, he has a lot of skills, a lot of movement. He's a lefty as well. That's what Canelo has trouble with. I think it's going to be an amazing fight, man. I just can't wait. And the best man.
There is no denying that the battle would be enormous. Fans, trainers, promoters, and even actors like Denzel Washington are expressing.
Get in the ring with Canelo Alvarez. Terence is not going to see anything that he hasn't seen before. No, he hasn't seen this beast on fight night, but he's seen versions of this beast for a very, very, very long time. People have said that he's a blown-up 147-pound fighter. If you remember, he said it was hard for him to make 147 when he fought Errol Spence Jr. I was like, yo, how is that possible? I didn't realize like he was really doing everything that's needed to gain the weight properly. Most fighters don't know how to gain weight and fit into a weight class properly. He's done that.
Another voice of caution, however, came from an experienced combatant who supported Crawford's warning about a serious error he might be making in advance of this possible fight. Moving up in weight against someone like Canelo is nothing new, according to Sean Porter. He thinks Canelo might be worn down by the punishment Crawford can administer in ways he hasn't seen previously, despite their different natural sizes.
Super fight, I guess you could say.
Yeah, what a fight. Very hard to pick a winner, isn't it? Very hard to pick a winner because like every good fight, you know, no one really knows the skill and competitiveness and ring craft of Crawford, or, you know, you can say the same things about Canelo, but just he has that size. And but I see Crawford in New York when Hamza fought Berlanga, and he doesn't look too small anymore. He's filled out a lot. He looks quite big. It's a great fight. I think they're equally matched in skill.
That level of enthusiasm demonstrates why this contest is consuming so much discussion. Crawford recently won fights that solidified his status as one of the greatest fighters of all time. And Canelo's appeal, background, and resume continue to make him the face of boxing. Combining them would result in a battle that appeals to both casual admirers and ardent purists.
Listen, I get a lot of texts asking how I'm doing, how camp is going, so I figured I could just put it up in one post. So I'm in the mountains. This dude's about to beat the brakes off Canelo and be the greatest boxer of all time, and I get to play a part in it. All is well, truly well. We good. I'm good. I'm good.
One thing is clear, even though no one can predict with certainty who will prevail until they actually step into the ring. It won't be just another major event if Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez fight. For centuries to come, boxing fans will reminisce about this type of night. When two titans meet, anything seems conceivable. Please hit the like button, share this with other boxing fans, leave your predictions in the comments, and subscribe to Ring Rivalry for all the most recent fight analysis and responses if you're as excited as we are.